Welcome to your September 2025 Tarot and Oracle card reading. I'm Ethan, and in this empowering two-part reading, we'll uncover what you need to know right now for your growth and manifesting. Part 2 is your pick a card message, complete with your support crystal for the month. Let's begin. Welcome to part 1 of your reading, and please take what resonates with you. And first, I'm starting with the Ananda Tarot, and I'll only be using the major arcana today as we're looking for the major theme of your month and to discover where your power lies. And your card of the month is the Turning Point. And if you look, this is kind of like cosmic cycles here and almost like a cosmic clock of alignments taking place in your life. So there's lots of cycles and eras moving and changing. You know, we kind of have these, we go through phases in life. So when this card shows up, it's about this cosmic alignment and how you're moving into, or have the potential to move into, a new era in your life. It's like things are shifting. It's that turning point. This month you've got the possibility of really leveling up in terms of your life, a situation you've been in. It could be a challenge you've experienced and moving beyond that. It's like a graduation energy with this card. So it's the equivalent of Judgment in a lot of other tarot decks. But the way it's shown here is definitely more about the lessons learned. And I feel like a lot of things that have happened to you, either last month or this year, have kind of soaked through, and you've took the gold from that. You've understood what you were learning and you're taking that forward, which is in fact what you must do if you haven't done yet, because what they'll do is it will help you do that. It will help you level up, help you improve your situation. And for some of you, this can be a sign of one door closing and how another door is opening. So if it seems like things haven't gone your way, or some things that you've been working on didn't seem to happen, haven't happened at all, or seem to be dead ends, then this is just a sign that, you know, cosmically and divinely there are other avenues and you're being moved into a different direction, even though it's not easy to accept that. It seems to be that you're moving out of the current phase into another phase. If you have enjoyed this reading so far, could you please give it a thumbs up? And if you know anyone that could benefit from this reading too, please share it with them. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So I've pulled 3 cards for you from the Citadel Oracle, and just a quick reminder, I will never DM you or about personal readings. If you get anything like that, it's not me. So your first card is the Adventurer. So if you look here, we've got this volcano, and this figure is heading towards that volcano, and we've got a lot of bushes and vines in the way of us. So this is to do with facing challenges head on, right? So the volcano path is that, you know, sometimes we want to get somewhere or we want to do something and it's not always going to be easy, and that doesn't mean we're not supposed to do it. It just means that it's going to involve some lessons, some challenges. So for those of you who are going through challenges right now, this is a positive sign, because if you look at the top, we have a new moon in the right hand corner. Often moving into a different era, a different phase of our life can be challenging. There's probably a lot of disruption. So if you're experiencing that, that is pretty normal when we make a big change, to see things falling away, and we don't always understand at the time what's happening. So one thing I'm picking up for this card for you is the fear of failure. So when we set off on a path, or when we've got a goal or a mission or something that we want to achieve, it is scary, and a lot of that stuff will come up inside of us. And I feel that you might perhaps be hesitating. So there's probably something big you wanted to do now or this year, and you might be putting it off. And this is a sign that we mustn't listen to that hesitation voice. You are being told to go forward, go on the new adventure. What I'm going to advise you to do, if you do have a big thing that is either a big challenge that you know what you need to do to get through it, or you've got a goal, a mission, or something you're trying to manifest, is if it feels overwhelming, or you've got this fear of failure coming up, what if I do all this and then it doesn't happen, then you need to break things into smaller parts. So what this card is asking us to do this month is to look at where you're going, what you want to achieve, and then break it into smaller tasks and only focus on one of those at a time. Stop looking too far ahead. You've got to deal with these bushes here first before you even climb that mountain. So, and then there's the clouds behind that as well. So yes, there's lots to do. Yes, things aren't always easy. Yes, you're going to have various moving parts going on in your life that you're going to have to deal with. So let's deal with them one at a time so we can better handle them. Okay, so the next card we've got for you is the Priest. So if you look here, we've got this priest is holding up a crystal ball, and there's the eye of the divine in there. So it's very much about our personal connection to spirit. You know, all different priests from different religions and spirit traditions around the world, priests and priestesses, it's ultimately about having faith in something that isn't physical, we can't see. So priests have faith in the divine. They have to, that's their major role. If they don't do that, they are not priests, right? So I feel that this is what you're being asked to do, but also very much believing in your purpose. Like many of you have a purpose you might be aware of, or at least sense that you've got a higher path and purpose ahead of you. You've got a destiny to fulfill. There are things you came here to do in this incarnation, into this lifetime, that you know you've got to do, or that you're trying to work on right now. And I'm afraid that does involve a certain amount of faith. So tuning in to that and not just taking everything at face value, or just looking at what's going on in your life right now and saying, well, this is saying that, you know, I'm not meant to be doing this, or well, all these things are happening, so maybe I'm not meant to do that. These are like proper problems I see in the spiritual community, particularly in the New Age community, where they take every challenge as some kind of stop sign, when that's the whole point. Like, we have to go through the challenge to get the skills, to get the knowledge, and to build our confidence so that we can complete things. So don't fall into that trap. And for this month, you've got to persevere. So you're being told, when whatever is coming up for you, whatever you need to work on, whatever you want to do, you're going to have to persevere through it. And yes, it's an unknown path, which is how you'll have to tap into your faith, your belief in a higher power, whatever that is, and know that you'll get through it. Okay, so next we've got the Air. Again, look here, we've got unseen potential and hesitation written on the card. So again, another kind of little nudge about hesitation within you, and that kind of fear of the unknown, these things that you want to do, that you're trying to achieve, or perhaps you've been thrown into a situation that you did not expect. Do not let that fear to freeze you, to hold you back. And one thing I'm kind of learning as things go along is that we never feel ready for something. So I think some of you are being told to stop waiting on something. There's something you're not doing, talking yourself out of, or thinking, I'll wait till conditions are perfect to do it. And this is hinting at no, like this is being given to you. That's what the Air is. It's the king, queen, princess, prince. It's given to you. This is your task. You have to do this. The crown is being passed to you, right? So there's a potential for change for the better in your life, but it will involve you having to take action and to move forward yourself. You can't sit around waiting for things to manifest. And your guidance for career and money this month comes from the Money and Career Oracle. And you've got Heart. And what I think this means for you is you need to, you probably already do love what you do. And if you don't already love what you do for a living, for a way to bring prosperity into your life, then you need to be looking into that. Because the more you do what brings you fulfillment, or something that satisfies you and makes you feel happy doing it, is going to actually increase your chances of earning more for it and receiving what you are worth. So put your heart into something, whatever you're doing. And those of you who have a job that might not be the ideal job yet, put your heart into what you're doing, and you'll get better results, and you'll do better, and it'll really help you increase prosperity. It will help you with your career. And next we've got one from the Wild Unknown Archetypes Oracle. You've got the Cave. So this is not like isolation energy that you get maybe from hermit mode. If anything, it's the end of that phase again. I think there has been a research phase going on, or you've been percolating on something, or considering and then hesitating on something maybe, and now it's time to step out of your cave. All these signs, all these cards are pointing you to being ready. So you need a plan. Hopefully you have one. If not, make a plan. And knowledge, and you have the knowledge and the skills needed to do what you do. And I think you must be careful if your ego or anyone around you is implying that you're not ready, or that you perhaps aren't capable of something, or who do you think you are to be going after that or doing that. You are ready. That is very clear from these cards. And your guidance for this month around manifesting is from my little handmade manifestation oracle. And you've got guiding signs. So there are signs around you that what you're doing is working. There are signs around you that you're having an effect, that things you're doing are working. And some of you are receiving divine and spiritual signs, like our priest card seems to be saying, you know, doing what is given to you on a spiritual level, your life purpose, what's in your Akashic records. And you've got guides and angels giving you signs. So we've got a feather here, you know, it could be something you're seeing repeated, or this month you need to be looking out for signs. And some of these will act like breadcrumbs or signposts. So if you're not sure what to do next, how to get there, what to do, you need to be paying attention to the signs, because you might get some guidance there. You might receive inspiration through something that appears to you. Could even be online. I think a lot of us today will receive inspiration through things that pop up on the feed online or on the internet, on YouTube. We get shown things that are kind of honestly set you down a whole path towards doing something that could change your life. So in terms of manifesting, watch out for signs. And also there's that birds before land story. So some of you might be seeing things that are like, okay, but then where is the result? Well, it's coming. You're seeing these because you're getting closer to what you're trying to manifest. So just to point out, there is a couple of signs in here as well. We've got a new moon symbol and appeared on here. And there's also a little moon in that card as well. So that I think is a representation of watching out for this new moon this month. It is an important time for you, and it is a sign of new beginnings, a new phase, a new cycle. There's also a lot of star symbolism here and up in the sky here, and there's a little star at the top of the cave. And this could be about following your purpose, your destiny, and a divine plan for your life. So if you're curious about any of the decks I've used so far, I have linked them in the description. Some of these are affiliate links, so if you use them, it will help support me and my channel. Thank you. Welcome to part 2, and for this part of your reading, we will be giving you an additional personal message and guidance and a crystal to support you for the month ahead. And I'm using my personal handmade crystal oracle, and I can't show you the illustrations yet, but you will still get the crystal and the guidance that you need. So just take a moment now to tune in and allow your intuition to guide you to your card and for a message that you need to hear at this time, and your crystal. Card 1, card 2, or card 3. And once you have chosen your card, see the video chapters in the bar to jump straight to your message. And if you need longer to choose your card, you can pause the video now. So if you picked card 1, then your crystal for the month is ruby, and your message is believe in yourself. So I think we need to stop and drop the self-doubt. And you might be having doubt about your abilities, what you're capable of doing in life, or what you want to achieve. And you could just be doubting yourself in general. It might be a self-confidence issue for some of you. And also those of you who are aware of life purpose things, or you have big goals or big plans or things you want to do, and you're kind of like not sure you're ready, or you don't know that you can really do it, and you're maybe worried about, again, as we said before, could be a fear of failure. So just remember that self-belief will actually reinforce and help you succeed. So having more self-belief and not talking bad to yourself and not limiting yourself will actually increase your chances of being successful. And that could be just everyday stuff, career, and for those of you who are working on manifestations or long-term goals, this also helps us manifest. When you've got greater self-belief, you can manifest easier because it helps form your self-concept. So even if you can't see any evidence of what you want to achieve or what you want to do in life, just get instilled, that is me, I am capable of doing this, and this is something I'm perfectly capable of doing, and can do, and I am whatever it is I want to be. Having that is going to help you so much more, because the opposite way of thinking is just going to reduce your chances of success. So we may as well increase them. It is not a guarantee. And avoid comparing yourself to others, particularly if you are someone who spends quite a bit of time online on your phone. You might be seeing people or things and feeling a little like left out, fear of missing out. You might be feeling, can I do that? Gosh, they're so confident. How are they able to do that? How is it so easy for them? Remember that everyone's kind of the same inside. So don't let that block you, don't let it stop you. And the affirmation for this month for you is, I reclaim my sovereign power. I am crowned with purpose and potential. The benefits of a ruby, and you can get one of these, which is a lower quality ruby. They tend to be a bit more purple than red. If you get a affordable ruby, or you have got a ruby already, it will help you through personal power. It's an empowerment stone. And it also assists us with our drive, finding that kind of drive and energy within us to go after what we want. So for a substitute, you can also use carnelian, tiger's eye, or scepter quartz. The card that was on the bottom of the pile when we picked your crystal, blue apatite. And your guidance is to hold positive expectations. I just want to point out there is crown symbolism, and there was crown symbolism on here, so the symbol of the crown is very important for you, and it probably relates to things like being ready. It's a role that you need to play. It's something that you're meant to do. And this card is very much about your thought patterns, so I think you need to really be kind of quite vigilant with your mental thought patterns, what sort of ideas, your mental chatter and the narratives that are playing out in your head, because they can either empower you or they can limit you. So if you're having a lot of negative thinking, a lot of disempowering thoughts and self-limiting ideas in your head, or thoughts or imaginings, then just try and work on that. You need to work on your mindset this month and adopt a mindset of self-belief and certainty. So do whatever you can. That could be affirmations, it could be subliminals, it could be visualizations. Do whatever you can to improve your mindset. It's not about being perfect. It's not that you can't have any negative thoughts. It's just make sure you're not kind of slipping into that, because you're kind of stopping yourself. That is what the crystal is trying to get through to you. And if you want even more guidance, then see my other pick a card readings for other areas of your life. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know which card you picked or which part of today's reading most resonated with you. And if you are curious about decks and my crystal books, all the links are in the description below. And finally, don't forget to subscribe and hit bell notifications so that you never miss a reading from me. I'll see you then. And if you pick card 2, then your crystal of the month is blue calcite. And your message is release the past. So watch out for any ruminating thoughts, regrets, or resentments you might be holding on to that or have resurfaced. Sometimes things come back to us, we get triggered. I know recently someone contacted me about someone from my past, and it wasn't this person, but then it started making me think back to school days, and I started to remember things that I probably didn't need to drag up. So just bear in mind that the past has no real power unless we give it that power. So letting go of things that happened in our past and things that we're not really too happy about or didn't go the way we wanted is actually going to allow the energy, or it creates a space for new things to come into you. So that's why it's so important for you to do. And consider also, I think you should also consider purification rituals or cleansing rituals, which can be done on yourself, but particularly those that involve water and the water element. So think about things like a spiritual bath. You might use sprays because they contain water as well. Some of you, though, if that's your thing, if you can go into a safe place that's actually water, like a river or by the sea or a lake, as long as you're safe doing that, you could also use a natural body of water to help purify your past, to release the past. And that could be super helpful as well. But ultimately, you're being asked to not focus too much on even yesterday, last month, or whatever it is that's bothered you. Try not to carry that with you into this month, right? You want to move forward. So the affirmation I've got for you is, I am ready to release the energy of anything that no longer serves me. And you could also do that while you do a purification ritual or a cleansing bath or shower. And the benefits of blue calcite are that it is a cleansing crystal. It helps you release stress, and it's also good for cooling anger or frustration, right? And as an substitute for blue calcite, you could also use clear calcite and selenite, also known as satin spar. And you could also work with shungite if you have it. So on the bottom of the deck was another card for you, and that is Priscilla Bluestone. And the guidance on this card says that you need to trust your divine timing. So you might not be exactly where you want to be, but you need to know that you are where you're meant to be. So this could be to do with where you are in this point in the year. It could be something that you were hoping you would have achieved by now, like this month. There might be a lot of things in your life that aren't exactly where you want to be or what you want to be doing, but you are being told to, relax a bit, because there is definitely this aspect of divine time at play. Same with manifestation work as well. It can be frustrating, but sometimes things need to align. If you remember that card, Turning Point, it was pointing to all these different cycles and things that are needing to correspond and align up for allowing things to happen. And we are getting that energy now, but just bear in mind that's what's been holding you back. So at the same time, don't force anything and surrender to the process. Sometimes things aren't happening the way we envisioned, but there might be a reason for that. So try and go with the flow a little bit this month if you need to. And remember that everything is happening in the perfect order that it's meant to happen. And another thing from this card, in the imagery and the connection with this card, is connected to solstices and equinoxes. And of course, you've got the autumn equinox or the spring equinox, depending where you are this month. So I believe that is an important time for you. It could be the turning point, but it's also a great time to do the cleansing ritual. It would also be a really good time for you to begin something important after that point, because I think the energy will be in more your favor. Definitely do some kind of intention setting if you can. So if you want even more guidance, then see my other pick a card readings on my channel for other areas of your life. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. So let me know which card you picked, or if any part of this reading resonated with you. And if you're curious about the decks and my crystal books, then all the links are below. And finally, don't forget to subscribe and select bell notifications so that you never miss a reading from me. I'll see you then. So if you picked card 3, then your crystal for the month is fluorite, and your message is focus your mind. And I feel there could be a lot of distractions around you at this time, definitely in your mind. So these can be thoughts that we're just distracting ourselves. It could be things that we're being exposed to, social media, events in the news, political things, global events, things like that could also be affecting you in a not great way. And also our emotions sometimes can tend to pull us here and then pull us there. It feels like you might have quite an active mind at the moment. There's a lot going on in the world. I think we're all being affected, so don't worry about it. At the same time, just be aware this card came through for you. There's a reason you're being shown this, and you are being asked to kind of try and regulate some of these thoughts. So we need to remember that having mental clarity is kind of essential for not just tasks and daily life. It's essential for you to reach a goal or make a good decision, right? We don't want to make a decision we later have to regret or undo later. So having more mental clarity is something you are being asked to draw on. And also, another thing I would like to say is mental clarity is helpful for manifesting, because if we're really clear and focused, we are better able to reach what we want or create what we want, right? So get really clear through intention setting. So if there are things you're trying to do, or even just envisioning your day, like sometimes I just think setting your day up with some type of intention and thinking about how you want things to go. It doesn't matter if they don't go exactly that way, but just starting from that point instead of, whatever appeared on my phone first thing in the morning, that someone else's ideas, beliefs and opinions isn't helping you and it's not helping me. So let's get back to focusing on what we want to align with and where we want to go, right? That's the message of this card. And the affirmation that this fluorite crystal wants to bring you this month, if you want to use it, is, I am the one true master of my mind and thoughts. And in terms of working with fluorite, and you can use any color, I do particularly like on this card we have a green and purple, and this has got some blue in it as well. Those are color combinations are good because they help with balance. And the benefits of fluorite are, it helps balance your mind and emotions, right? And that's what you want, a nice balance between them. And we don't want to get pulled in one way or the other too much. So it's also a great stone just for focus. I find it calming. It can also help with achieving mental clarity. So as an alternative to fluorite, if you don't have it or you don't feel drawn to it, you could also work with sodalite, blue apatite, or just some clear quartz. That will help you as well. On the bottom of the deck, we have another card for you, and that is moss agate. The message from this crystal for you is, you're making progress. So it's not about speed, but it is about that time investment. So I believe you are doing the work, or you are making progress to where you want to go. And even if it's not that obvious to you, it's more about putting the time in and the effort to achieve what you want, and not so much about that end result yet. So keep focused on what you're doing and keep taking action, because the investment of time and energy that you put in is going to pay off in time. And I feel like growth is happening, even if it's not visible. If you think in nature, like here we've got moss references, or you think of a tree or a plant, they're growing constantly, but if you look at them, you can't see that. You only notice it over time. And because we get so used to seeing things, we don't notice. But there are things going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing. So don't get disheartened if you're not seeing results yet. You're being asked to keep going. And also your higher self, your guides, want to acknowledge that they recognize the time you're putting in, that you are trying your best. So keep nurturing your goals, projects. If you've been knocked off by some distractions, it's time to get back to them. Keep going. This is about nurturing, putting the time in. This could be intentions and things you're trying to manifest as well. And if you want even more guidance, see my other pick a card readings for other areas of your life. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. So let me know which card you picked, or which part of this reading resonated with you the most. If you're curious about the decks or my crystal books, then check the links in the description below. And finally, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss the next month's reading. And I'll see you then.